Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about a new China Glaze collection. It may be their summer collection, I'm not really sure. But it's a 12-piece collection that was done in collaboration with Sesame Street. And the collection is called Do Hue. And each one of the bottles on this collection has a Sesame Street character. I think there are just 3 different characters, but each bottle has one of the different characters on there with the Sesame Street logo and also the name of this collection. And even though there's only 3 character logos on the bottle caps, I was really sad that the actual characters that they used weren't on the polishes that were named for each of these characters. Like the yellow polish that's in this collection for Big Bird, it would have been really cool if the actual bottle cap for the Big Bird polish actually had Big Bird on it, but it's not that big of a deal. It just would have been a nice touch that would have added to this collection. I've been really waiting on these polishes, y'all. I've been just as anxious as you guys to see what they actually look like and how they swatch. And some of you are especially interested to see how they look on my particular skin tone. So I'm gonna swatch them for you today. So if you're interested in purchasing some of these polishes, or the whole collection for that matter, I bought mine from polishpick.com, and I will leave a link for that website down below. There's lots of different colors in this collection, y'all. There's some hollows, some really pretty shimmers, some jelly curly type finishes. So let's just get into the swatches. So the first one here is called Amazing, and it's a really frosty lilac-y metallic, and we're not even going to talk about the brush strokes because I know y'all see them and I know y'all know how I feel about them. So what I'm trying to do with these polishes that don't really relate to a Sesame Street character is just figure out what I think they should relate to, or who I think they should relate to. And this one reminds me of the Amazing Mumford. Do y'all know who that is? It's just because of the color of his skin or the color of his fur, I'm relating this polish to him. And even though, as you can tell, this is a really thick polish, it dried really fast. And it still took me 2 to 3 coats to get this to look decent. Next, I have Beek On Fleek, and this is a total Big Bird yellow. It dries super matte, but it also dries super fast. So you got to work really quickly when you're applying this polish. You can see in my clips here that it dries down so fast, and it's so difficult for me to work with that I struggled to make it look decent. And honestly, with all the patchiness, it probably would take me 4 coats to get this to even look decent enough for me to wear. And I do not do 4 coats of any nail polish anymore. This is actually the polish that I looked forward to the most because of the history behind Big Bird and I. So my mom will tell you, anytime that I heard the Sesame Street music playing, I would run to the TV out of excitement. But as soon as Big Bird came on the screen, I would cry and run away. I was so scared of him. So it makes me sad that I'm not as fond of this Big Bird polish as I am with my memories of him. But either way, here's the polish when it's matte, and here it is when it's shiny. But honestly, guys, there's better yellows out there than this one. The next polish is called Dat Color Dough, and dough is spelled like cookie dough, and this is the Cookie Monster polish. So it's a silver and blue micro glitter that's packed into a clear base. At least it looks like a clear base. And even though the formula is really thin, it's still chock full of that silver and blue micro glitter. So much so that I thought that I could use this as a glitter topper, but it's so densely packed that I don't think it would work as a topper. You could pull this one off in 2 coats. Unless your nails are longer than mine, then you probably will need 3. And it's not as textured as some of the other glitter polishes in this collection, but it still does dry down dull, so you'll need a really good glossy top coat. And the name is really cute because you can actually tell what character it's referencing. I'm also happy that the polish is blue because the Cookie Monster is blue. The next polish is called Ernie Your Stripes, and who doesn't love Ernie? His polish is an orange sheer polish with a beautiful gold shimmer running through it, and the gold in this is so pretty. It looks like the most beautiful highlighter on the most perfectly bronzed skin. You know that Fenty highlighter? I think it's called Mimosa Sunrise. I mentioned this to you guys on Instagram stories. That's what it reminds me of. It's so pretty. This formula is really sheer on the first coat, but it can build up a little bit. It does turn out really pretty, and it's so reflective. I like this one more than I thought I would. Even though it dries down really dull even after using a top coat, I still really like this one. The next polish is called To Be Sesame, and it's a green jelly base with blue and silver holographic micro glitter running through it. The formula on this one is really nice. The glitters come out really smooth and even though it dries really textured and you're gonna need lots of top coat, it's still really pretty, and it's more glittery and sparkly and more hollow in person than you'll ever see in videos and photos. And I don't know what character to reference this one to, y'all. I mean, the only green character I know is Kermit, unless, do y'all know of any characters that might match this polish? And is Free to Be Sesame a quote that's popular nowadays on Sesame Street? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. Next, we have the most perfect, super hot pink, super squishy jelly polish that I've ever seen. And it's called For Real Dough. And when I say super hot pink, that's exactly what it is. And since it's a jelly, you are going to have to build it up. So that first coat is going to be really thin, but that second coat, the color builds up really nicely. And it's a really smooth and buttery jelly pink. And based on the name of this polish, because most girls say for real though, I'm going to go with that this polish would represent a girl. So why not Abby Cadabby? I mean, she's cute anyway, and I love wearing my ponytails just like she wears hers. So let's just reference this polish to her. So the next polish is called Grover It, and it's a really royalish, indigo-ish blue jelly base with lots of blue micro and hollow glitters in it. Y'all, I love this polish, and it's not just because I love blue. Well, maybe it's just because I love blue, but I really love this polish, y'all. Do y'all remember last year or 2017 when there was the big issue with Grover and everybody thought he said the F-bomb? Maybe that's why this is called Grover It, because Sesame Street is just over everybody bashing Grover because they thought he said a cuss word. This polish is the perfect representation of him. It just looks like he stood up and they poured glitter over him. It's perfect. The next polish is called I Believe in Snuffy, and of course it represents Mr. Snuffleupagus. It's a really pink, peachy, champagne-y, shimmery polish. It's really sheer and it has brush strokes, but not as many brush strokes as Amazing. This one is actually decent. It does dry a little bit textured, and I did apply 3 coats, but it just looks really washed out on me. So I won't be reaching for this one as much as I would reach for any of the others. I probably won't reach for many of these, but yeah, this one just looks washed out on my skin tone, so I probably won't be wearing this one. Okay, this next one, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. How about we just start with the name? It's called I Count Even, and it's supposed to represent the count. It's so extremely sheer though, y'all. I don't even want to call it sheer. Let's just call this one a base coat. Let's call this one the base coat for this collection, because it's actually that sheer that I would only wear this as a base coat. And I'm not going to spend any more time talking about it. We'll just use this as a base coat. How about that? The next polish is called Living in the Elmo-ment, and it's for Elmo, y'all. It's a really bright orangey red jelly base that's so super pigmented and so full of these small hollow glitters, but it dries so freaking textured. And when you apply this, my bottle is already super thick, like I've owned it forever. So you probably really only need 1 or 2 coats, but you're definitely going to need a really good top coat so that you can kind of get rid of some of that texture. But yeah, no, not for me. This next polish is called MonsterPiece, and it's a berry pink with a super holographic glitter running through it. And the characters that come to mind when I think of this one are the two-headed monster or Telly. And that's just based off the color of this polish versus the color of their fur. And this polish dries a little bit textured, but not as textured as the Elmo polish. But you still will need a really good glossy top coat because it dries kind of dull. It doesn't dry matte, it's just no shine to it. But once you add a top coat, it's really, really pretty. And last but not least, we have Trash Can Do Attitude. And when you think of Sesame Street and a trash can and this green polish, you should automatically think of Oscar the Grouch. And if you don't, you can't sit with us no more. But this polish is a metallic light green with a gold shimmer, and it's full of brush strokes. I tell you what, this polish is like the green version of Amazing. It's just green. I have no feelings at all for this polish. Is the only reason I'm even talking about it is because it represents Oscar the Grouch and it's in this collection. That's it. Other than that, no feelings. And you know, I'm not trying to bash this collection, but I just love nail polish so much, and I love Sesame Street, so I just expected more. So I want to know what y'all think about this collection, y'all, because I'm just not happy. I was so excited, and now I'm so disappointed. I expected so much more out of this collection. If anything, at least have the polishes match the actual Sesame Street character, and a lot of them just didn't. You know, for me, there was a lot of nostalgia. I had a lot of memories about this collection from when I was a little girl watching Sesame Street, or at least trying to watch Sesame Street when Big Bird wasn't on the screen. So I was expecting a lot from this collection, and I was just underwhelmed. I was so excited, but then once I started swatching them, I was just left with bleh. So honestly, if I'd have read or watched any reviews on this collection before I actually bought the whole thing, I probably wouldn't have bought it. And actually, I probably would have only bought one of them, and that would have been this one here, the blue one, Grover It, because y'all know I really love blue polishes, and this one having the hollow factor, it just kind of stood out to me, maybe because I really love blue polish. But yeah, if I'd have watched any reviews on this collection, this is probably the only one I would have bought. And maybe MonsterPiece, the pink hollow glitter one. I probably would have bought that one and this one only. So how do y'all feel about this collection? Are you still excited to get any of them? Are you disappointed? Were my swatches okay for you to see exactly how the polish might look? You know, let me know down in the comments. I was so excited, and I just knew I was going to walk away from this collection with a huge smile on my face, but sometimes it just bees that way, y'all. Sometimes it just bees that way. So yeah, that's all I have for this collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I did purchase these from polishpick.com, and I will leave that link down below. And I'll also leave a list of the names of the polishes down below in the order that I showed them to you in the video. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.